Chris Ramirez swings at the first pitch. Caden McDonald swings early, and that time first hard contact of the day for Wareham and of the season.
And it brings up Dylan Dubovic, who's the cleanup hitter today out in right field. The sophomore from Miami takes a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. 2 outs with the runner on second here for the Gatemen in the top of the first. Happy to be with you here on opening day in Cape Cod. You couldn't paint a better day. 87 degrees and pure sun. No ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Chopped over to the left side weakly. Charging in is Denny. He throws over to first. It's not in time. Dubovic beats it out. Runners at the corners for Wareham with 2 down here in the top of the first.
Jackson Yarberry was cruising through the top of the first, got Ramirez on a first pitch soft grounder, then struck out Jason Wax, but now one hard hit ball from Caden McDonald and a softly hit ball. That was going to be a very tough play for Hogan Denny. Charged through the first, but the speed from Dubovic in time.
Cade Elam, the second baseman, at the dish now, trying to get Wareham its first runs of the year. First pitch is down the middle for a strike. For Elam, the .297 hitter this past season at Louisville. Pretty good campaign for his freshman year and looking to build on that here in the summer of 2026. The 0-1, cut on and miss at the top of the zone. So no ball, 2 strike count with 2 down and runners at the corners in the top of the first. Yarberry gets set, gets his sign, comes set, gives a check over on first. Dubovic going nowhere. And this a Wareham team that finished 20-20 last year, second in the West Division, and then fell to Cotuit here at Lowell Park. Back-to-back seasons where they fell.
Capable speed from Dubovic, 4 stolen bases this year.
It's not going to matter. The 0-2 pitch is cut on and missed by Cade Elam. So Jackson Yarberry gets out of the jam here in the first. 2 hits for Wareham, no runs and no errors. We head to the bottom of the first, no score here from Lowell Park. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV. No score game here from Lowell Park between the Gatemen and the Kettleers. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky here in the bottom of the first. And Adam, the starter on the bump today for Wareham, Garrett Lambert. He is the redshirt sophomore out of Mercer. pitched to a 4.31 ERA this past season and looking to start well here on the Cape.
Yeah, absolutely, in the transfer portal. So this is a guy that proved it against mid-major competition, now trying to show it to the college coaches, to the scouts, that he can get it done at the high major level, trying to transfer up after a solid season last year with Mercer, 5-1 with a 4.31 ERA.
Wareham with 2 hits in that top of the first, and both came with 2 outs on the board, but not able to bring anyone home. Hunter Warren, the second baseman, will start things at the dish for the Kettleers. The wind, the kick, the pitch from Lambert is fouled off to the right side for strike 1. Warren played his ball this past season at Wright State, just recently transferred to NC State, and at Wright State, a 361 average, and started all 55 games in the season. The 0-1 is fouled back off, so a no-ball, 2-strike count here for Garrett Lambert.
Made a huge jump in his strikeouts this last year. 20 punch-outs as a freshman, 90 in his second campaign with the Bears.
The 0-2, high and away, ball 1. Wareham lost last year's opener 7-2 at Hyannis, and for Cotuit, they also fell 5-4 against the Orleans Firebirds. So someone's going to break that streak. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch, swung on and missed. A strikeout to start off the season for Garrett Lambert. That was a nasty off-speed pitch coming across the body.
Absolutely, and a great start for Lambert, a guy that features 5 pitches, and that time goes with the off-speed, a ton of movement, and Hunter Warren, a dangerous bat at the top of the order, goes down on strikes.
Jake Hanley in the box now, the left fielder. First pitch to him is down low, misses. Hanley, a left-handed batter, and you mentioned the pitch mix, fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, and a splitter for Lambert. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1-strike count. Lambert comes set. The 1-1. High and away for ball 2. And for Hanley, he was the first player since 2005 to start every game over his freshman and sophomore campaigns at IU. Pretty impressive stuff. He swings on the 2-1 pitch, pops it up on the infield. Ramirez ranging over to grab it, comes down with it, and there's quickly 2 down in the bottom of the first.
Good start for Garrett Lambert. That was exactly how Jackson Yarberry started his first inning. Retired the first 2 hitters, one on some soft contact and another one on a swinging strikeout. But Wareham tallied back-to-back base runners, but not going to be easy to set this next one down for Cotuit.
Here's someone you need to watch out for. The big lefty, Tage Davis, steps into the box. The first baseman was the ACC Player of the Year this past season with Louisville, and he chops on the first pitch, grounds it over to first. Lira had some trouble with it, regains, steps on the bag, and ends the inning. So a clean 1-2-3 to start the season for Garrett Lambert and the Wareham Gatemen. We're tied at 0 from Lowell Park. You're listening to Wareham Baseball here on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repairs specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962 2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Top of the second here from Lowell Park. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Adam Wareham with a little bit of offensive might in that top of the first. Had runners at the corners with 2 down. Wasn't able to bring anyone home.
Exactly, and I think the more pitches you see, whether you're in the Gatemen dugout or in the batter's box, the more you see from Jackson Yarberry, the more success you're going to have. Now Drew Rogers tries to tack onto that.
The big catcher from Georgia Tech steps in. First pitch from Yarberry in the dirt for ball 1. Rogers this past season at Georgia Tech, a .266 hitter. He did play 12 games last season with Wareham, and in those had 4 hits, 3 runs batted in, and 1 blast. The 1-0, high and away for ball 2. Yarberry had a relatively clean start to the top of the first, retired the first 2 batters before letting up back-to-back hits, and then got Cade Elam to fan to end the inning. Wareham stranding 2. 2-0 pitch. Catches the top of the zone for strike 1 in the count.
Something different from Drew Rogers this time around is he's seen 3 pitches, hasn't swung at 1 in the first inning. Wareham was attacking Yarberry early and often.
2-1 offering. Just misses at the top of the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Top of the second here on opening day from Lowell Park between the Wareham Gatemen and the Cotuit Kettleers. Yarberry fires. That one misses down low. It's a leadoff walk for Drew Rogers, and it'll give the third baseman Lincoln Garcia a little bit of pressure here to make something happen. The third baseman was a standout at Texas Tech this past season, just transferred over to Texas. He was part of the Big 12 all-freshman team, and he is someone that is being talked about at length for the 2027 MLB draft. The first pitch to him is fouled off to the right side.
Garcia heading to Austin to play for the Longhorns and his new team down in Omaha right now. Hoping to join UT and get back to the College World Series next year.
Looking to bring that .338 average from the Red Raiders over to the Longhorns. The 0-1 is smacked down the right field line, but foul. So a no-ball, 2-strike count for Lincoln Garcia, with Drew Rogers standing over on first here in the top of the second.
Aggressive approach early from Garcia. A little bit late on the first 2 pitches.
They've both been in the middle of the zone, and he swung at both. The 0-2. This time he does swing, and it's lined right over to Davis. He gloves it, steps on the bag for the double play. An unfortunate break for the Gatemen, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, that's just unlucky right there, and Davis was over towards the bag, holding on Drew Rogers. Had he been in normal alignment, that's probably extra bases for Garcia, but instead he lines into a double play. Late again on it.
Not much to do about that one. Tony Lira, the first baseman in the box, swings at the first pitch, shoots it over to the right side and through. A 2-out single for Tony Lira. And that'll bring R.J. Hamilton, the center fielder, to the plate with 1 on and 2 down.
Another at-bat where Wareham, super aggressive, punches it towards the opposite way. Wareham seeing Yarberry, the opening day starter for Cotuit, very well early on.
They've already got 3 hits. It's only the top of the second with 1 on and 2 down. First offering to Hamilton, cut on and missed. Nice off-speed at the bottom of the zone. Hamilton came over from Vanderbilt to Duke this past season, and he tore it up in Durham at a career-high 63 hits, 41 RBIs, over 100 total bases. That all amounting in a .333 average for the Blue Devil. The 0-1 is bounced in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wareham was in a similar position last inning where they had runners on the corners with 2 down, another runner on here with 2 outs. Yarberry comes set. The wind the kick. Here's the pitch. Off speed at the top of the zone, just misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yarberry looking to get out of this inning clean and not bring up the top of the order. Chris Ramirez on deck for the Gatemen. The 2-1 pitch. Cut on over to the left side. Denny grabs it, takes a couple of steps, and he's not going to make a throw over. He had trouble with that one, and it'll go down as knee 5 over there in the hot corner.
Sharply hit, bobbled at first, then corralled it. Tried to bring it together right at the letters, and then when he went on to throw, saw a hustling R.J. Hamilton, plenty of speed for the center fielder, and then elected still 2 outs. Better to just swallow it than make an error on the throw and give Chris Ramirez a chance to drive home a run.
And this is not a guy you want at the plate if you are the Kettleers. Ramirez played with Wareham last year. Back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year with Cal Baptist. First pitch to him is bounced in the dirt. It gets away from Jun-Ho at the plate, and both runners will move up 90 feet. So now things get real dangerous. Second and third with 2 down and a 1-0 count.
Ramirez swung at the first pitch against Yarberry, so he hasn't seen him a ton. Grounded out to the shortstop his first time up, and that time an easy take, one that gets away from the backstop. Now 2 in scoring position.
Got out of a similar jam in the first, looking to do so once again here in the second. The 1-0 pitch from Yarberry. Fastball straight down the middle. Ramirez takes it for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike here with 2 out, 2 on in the top of the second. Ramirez, a .356 hitter this past season. Takes a pitch just above the belt. 2 balls, 1 strike here in the top of the second. Wareham trying to scratch across its first run of the season. Yarberry gets the sign, comes set. Here's the pitch. Just misses down low. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Jason Wax waiting on deck. He struck out in the first. Would be bases loaded if Yarberry is to give the free pass here to Ramirez.
30th pitch of the day already for Yarberry. Top of the second.
The 3-1. Off speed, middle of the zone. Called for a strike, so the count goes full. Runners at second and third with 2 down here in the top of the second. Wareham trying to cash in with 2 outs. Yarberry just 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Comes set at the belt. Now fires. Misses on the outside corner, and Ramirez works the walk. Bases are loaded for the Gatemen. That's the second base on balls of the inning for Yarberry.
That's huge, and a nice job by Ramirez for a guy that was uber aggressive his first time up. This time around, works ahead in the count, 3-1, sees a pitch that he probably in most situations would swing at in the hitter's advantage, but instead Yarberry, who's getting a little bit fatigued this inning, waits for it, draws a walk.
Bases loaded for Wax. Struck out in the first. He takes a first pitch strike at the knees. Wax was a first-team all-conference selection with Tulane, now in the portal, but he batted .327 there and started in all 56 games. Definitely a guy who can do some damage, and he's the only lefty in Wareham's lineup. The 0-1. Cut on, fouled. So now the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the second, and the bases loaded. If Wareham is to come up short here, that'd be 5 runners left on base in the first 2. Trying to avoid that here in a no-ball, 2-strike count.
After walking Ramirez, Wax trying to attack. Yarberry locating the zone, just can't get a hold of one.
Yarberry fires. Wax grounds it over to short. An easy flip to second for Murphy, and the Kettleers get out of the jam. Wareham leaves 3 runners on, 1 hit, 1 error here in the top of the second. Still tied at 0s from Lowell Park. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans,
Give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen cleanup on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Still tied at 0 at Lowell Park. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky here in the bottom of the second. Story of the game so far, the Gatemen have not been able to bring anyone home. 5 runners left on in the first 2 innings, including the bases loaded in the top half of the second. Hogan Denny, the third baseman, will start things off for Cotuit here in the bottom half. The first pitch from Lambert is lined over to short, and Ramirez is there to glove it. Quickly, 1 down, and that is 4 straight hitters retired to start the game for Garrett Lambert. He's looked good.
Absolutely great start. Has mixed and matched his off-speed well with the fastball that sits in the mid-90s. Hogan Denny, who's coming off a first-team Big Ten selections type of season for Indiana this past year, attacks the first pitch, and Ramirez, excellent with the glove, puts him away.
The heavy hitter, Seo Juno, the catcher at the plate now. First pitch, cut on and miss down the middle for strike 1. Seo Juno out of High Point, now going to be a senior. He was the Big South Player of the Year this past season, batting .351 with 17 bombs, and he skies one here on the 0-1 pitch. Into shallow left center, moving over to get it is Hamilton. And 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Couldn't ask for a better start to the season if you're Garrett Lambert. That's 5 straight retired to start the game.
And not just 5 straight retired, it's 12 pitches and 9 of which were thrown for strikes. So he's pounding the zone and he's making the Cotuit hitters earn it. Obviously he'll give up one every once in a while, but right now inducing a lot of soft contact, that time a lazy fly ball.
The designated hitter, Jesse DiMaggio, at the dish. First pitch from Lambert is a strike at the top of the zone. DiMaggio out of Westmont, the junior, batted .309 this past season with 13 bombs. Lambert's 0-1. Misses down low. Not sure if there's a connection. We've heard rumors about if he's connected to, of course, Joe DiMaggio, but nothing official. So I'll have to wait on that as the season goes on.
We heard family records. Grandpa, maybe a cousin.
1-1 pitch is cut on and missed for strike 2. I don't know how much I trust that. Maybe that's just...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We didn't talk to Jesse before the game. But
well, maybe we'll ask him about that later on. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the second. Lambert fires. Ball's poked over to the right side. A nice diving stop by Lira. He's got to get it over to the bag, and he does in time. Lambert helping himself out. He gets over to the bag. A little PFP for you here in the bottom of the second. And the Gatemen are flying to start this game from a defensive standpoint. Lambert's retired 6 straight. Still tied at 0 heading into the third. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Top of the third here at Lowell Park. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Still no score in this ball game. It'll be 3-4-5 coming up for the Gatemen as they look to scratch across their first run of the ball game. Caden McDonald, the Florida product, to start things off. The first pitch from Yarberry misses upstairs. Adam, first 2 innings for the Gatemen. 5 runners left on base. They've had 4 of those into scoring position now, so just missing that hit to bring someone home.
Yeah, McDonald has had the hardest hit ball of the day so far.
He had a double in his first trip to the plate, made it all the way over to third. The 1-0 pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Situational hitting, not a strength early on in 2026.
Now,
Game
it
1 of 40.
has been 6 outs. You got to give it some time.
Game 1 of 40.
Another miss high and away from Yarberry. 3 balls and no strikes. But the Gatemen, a hit so far in every inning, and they also had a couple of walks last inning as well. The 3-0 pitch catches the bottom of the zone. 3-1 to Caden McDonald, who was a big part of this Wareham team last summer, a .256 batting average, a 3.51 ERA, and 31 games played, kind of Wareham's version of Shohei Ohtani. The 3-1 pitch is cut on and missed at the top of the zone, so the count goes full.
And Yarberry, typically a short stint guy for Indiana this past season, 19 appearances, just 1 start, working into the third now.
Here's the payoff pitch. Chopped foul, so we'll do it again at 3-2. But you mention it. He only had 1 start the entire season, 19 appearances overall, pitched for 40 1/3 innings, but he's not too used to the starter role.
Yeah.
Yarberry gets the sign, comes set, here's the pitch. Way high and outside. So it's a leadoff walk to start the inning for Caden McDonald, same way that the second started for the Gatemen when Drew Rogers earned the base on balls.
And Yarberry can go deep into games. He knows the heavy workload of a season, one of just 5 Hoosiers in the spring to total 40 or more innings. But right now, getting the start has kind of struggled with command a little bit. 40 pitches, just 25 for strikes.
Dylan Dubovic back at the dish. He had a single in the first, a big cut and a miss. 4 strike 1. McDonald standing over on first. He's made it on base, and both trips to the plate here this afternoon. Yarberry comes set once again, the 0-1. Hit over into right field. Going back on it is Brer. He makes the catch in right field. So 1 down on the fly out over into right.
Well hit ball, but Landon Beaver, plenty of room out there in right field. Camps under it. Still a runner on first for the Gatemen.
It really hasn't felt easy for Yarberry since the first 2 hitters of the ball game. And now he's going against Cade Elam, who is someone he did have success against. Struck him out to end off the first inning when the Gatemen had runners on the corners with 2 outs. The first pitch to Elam is a cut and a miss for strike 1. Elam batted just around 300 this past season and 200 plate appearances in his freshman season. 1-1 misses out and away, and he was 3rd on the team for hits. That's what you want to see out of a freshman. Definitely someone who is more than capable of holding his weight here in the summer of 2026 and looking to give a spark here to the Gatemen in the top of the 3rd. The 1-1. Just misses on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Elam stepped up in the first. He had 2 on and 2 outs. Struck out swinging. This time a runner on first. Trying to work McDonald around the base paths, give Wareham their first run.
Wareham been making Yarberry do a lot of work. The 2-1 pitch is swung on in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 1 down. Here in the top of the third, Wareham has had chances so far in this game, have had a base runner on in every single inning. Have had runners in scoring position on in every inning so far. Has to get someone over to second here in the third for that to stay true. As the 2-2 pitch misses high and away, and the count goes full for the second time in this inning. Wareham really making Yarberry throw a lot of pitches here early on in this game.
Beautiful opening day here at Lowell Park. Fans, lawn chairs, outlining, first base, left field.
Here's the payoff. It's grounded right back to Yarberry. Comes off his foot. He'll throw it over to first. Getting over to second on the play is McDonald. So a runner into scoring position for a third straight inning for the Gatemen with 2 down. And Drew Rogers coming to the dish.
But as you look along the left field line, it's a Cotuit bullpen out there over the left field wall. And you got to think.
No one's throwing out there yet. A
Jackson,
couple people stretching.
Yeah, approaching 50 pitches already in this third frame.
Rogers worked a walk last inning to start off the top of the second, looking to bring McDonald home here in the top of the third. The opening pitch misses down low in the dirt for ball 1. Gatemen have been generating the offensive momentum, putting the pressure on Yarberry, but it seemed like he's found a way to kind of snake his way out of every single inning so far and looking to do so once again here to the catcher, Drew Rogers. The 1-0 pitch is fouled off to the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Rogers hit the fastball very well this past spring at Georgia Tech. Much better than the off speed, but in a situation right now with first base open, can't imagine Yarberry will give him much to swing at with another runner in scoring position. Yarberry has worked around traffic very well today.
It's been one of his strong suits. Has given up 3 hits. The 1-1 misses in the dirt once again. Running over to third is McDonald, and he's going to make it in there safely. So now the first run of this game stands just 90 feet away in a 2-ball, 1 strike count with 2 outs.
And third straight inning, Dan, that a Wareham base runner has made it just 90 feet away. Gatemen still yet to plate 1, but they've done damage. They've threatened, but still no runs.
And it makes sense why Yarberry's living in the bottom of the zone. Rogers loves to smash the fastball, especially against righties. The 2-1 popped up over to the right side and out of play. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs in the top of the third.
Drew Rogers, have to imagine he'll be in a consistent role with Wareham this summer. The only returner in that catcher room gets the opening day start for Ryan Smythe.
Yarberry's 2-2 offering. Popped up once again, out of play. Do it again at 2s. You mention it. Rogers with 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and a blast last season. Just 12 games with the Gatemen, but that familiarity is what you want to see heading into this season for the Gatemen. Looking for their first Cape Cod Baseball League championship since 2018. The 2-2, high and away with the off-speed. Yarberry's missed up there a couple of times in this inning, losing a little bit of control as he goes along.
They issued a 5-pitch walk to Rogers last inning, and this time Rogers works it, gets behind a little bit, a 2-strike count, but now works it full once again. First and second base open still for Rogers.
McDonald at third, the payoff pitch. Cut on and missed, it's in the dirt. The throw down to first is in there in plenty of time, so once again, Jackson Yarberry works out of the jam. Still a 0-0 game here at Lowell Park. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen cleanup on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A-Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting.
Back here in the bottom of the third at Lowell Park between the Wareham Gatemen and the Cotuit Kettleers. Still no score. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Wareham has brought a runner to third base in each of the first 3 innings, but unable to bring anybody home. Landon Beaver, the right fielder, will step into the box here for Cotuit. He takes a first pitch ball from Garrett Lambert, who has been on it in this game. 6 batters up, 6 batters down so far to start for Lambert.
Couple of ground balls, 1 lazy fly ball to center.
1-0 pitch is fouled off to the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's been very sharp. Fastball off speed has kept the Kettleers hitters off balance. 6 up, 6 down for the Mercer product.
Really couldn't ask for anything more to start the season. The 1-1 pitch catches the bottom of the zone. 4 strike 2. Lambert with 1 strikeout so far in this game, and that came to the leadoff man, Hunter Warren, to start off the bottom of the first. The 1-2. Chopped over to the left side, foul. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. This was a Cotuit team that finished with a 17-20-3 record last season. That was 3rd in the West, good enough to get them into the playoffs, and they eventually knocked off Wareham before falling to Bourne. The 1-2 is smacked over to the left side and through the hole between short and third. The no-hitter for Garrett Lambert for 6 outs is gone, and it's the first base runner of the game for the Kettleers.
That was a hard hit ball from Landon Beavers, shooting it towards the opposite way. Ramirez and Garcia, neither one really had much of a chance.
So it'll be Dayton Murphy, the shortstop in the box for the Kettleers, with 1 on and no one out. First pitch from Lambert, fouled off to the right side.
Well, a new test for Lambert, pitching around traffic.
Has not had anyone on in this game, has pitched very cleanly up to this point. Gives a quick check over on first. Beaver's in there in time. Murphy played his ball at Michigan State this past season, staying in the conference, just recently transferred over to Purdue. The 0-1. Hit out into center field. Hamilton's got a beat on it, waits under it, and grabs it for out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
Nice jump by R.J. Hamilton in center field. Stellar defensively for Duke, and Wareham has to be sound in the field because right now the 1 base running threat is Landon Beaver, but swiped 13 bags. Certainly a capable base runner for the Kettleers.
Isaac Sturgis, the center fielder, at the dish. Another check over on first. You mentioned his speed. Lambert doesn't want Beaver going anywhere. That's twice in this inning that he's given a check over on first base. First pitch in the at-bat to Sturgis is a strike. Quick throw down to first by Rogers, and once again, Beaver in there quickly, but Wareham keeping a close eye on him over at first. No ball, 1 strike count.
Keep him honest. Rogers looked good in the scrimmage the other day from behind the plate. Couple of situationals.
And another check over on first base. That's now 4 if you count Rogers' throw down in this inning.
But a couple times in the 3-team scrimmage a couple of nights ago, they just tried some base running situations. Rogers looked very good, very clean throwing down to second.
The 0-1 chopped over to the left side. That ball bounces just foul. Sturgis was a little bit late on that, just got a piece. And we'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Run over at first is Beaver here in the bottom of the third between Wareham and Cotuit on opening day. And these two see each other often. Last season, Wareham going 1-2 here at Lowell Park. Looking to start the season off with a win. Here's the 0-2. High and away for ball 1. 94-mile-per-hour fastball there from Lambert. Tops out around 95. Another check over on first, and this time they got him. Beaver is picked off by Garrett Lambert, and there's 2 down.
Caught him leaning towards second base. It wasn't a big lead, but it was the lean for Beaver that caught him off balance. And after they started his time over on first base with plenty of pickoffs, then they wait a little bit and catch him off guard.
The 1-2 pitch to Sturgis. Flown out into center field. Hamilton moving over. He's under it and makes the play. Lambert's faced the minimum through 3 innings here at Lowell Park. No score between Wareham and Cotuit. You're listening to Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Top of the 4th from Lowell Park with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. No score between Wareham and Cotuit here in the season opening tilt for the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League season. It's 7-8-9 due up for the Gatemen. Lincoln Garcia, Tony Lira, and R.J. Hamilton, a trio of righties facing the right-handed starter from Indiana, Jackson Yarberry, who has faced some trouble, Dan, in all 3 of his frames so far. A Gateman base runner has made it just 90 feet away, but haven't been able to scratch one across quite yet.
He's gotten out of it every single time.
Out of the windup, the first pitch of the top of the 4th is in and out the letters for ball 1. Garcia lined into a double play, sharply hit right at the first baseman, Tate Davis, was holding on Drew Rogers at first. This 1-0 comes home, and that one's lined right side over the head of a leaping second baseman, Hunter Warren, into right field, base knock to lead things off in the top of the 4th, and the Gatemen with another base runner.
And make that 3 straight innings now for Wareham, where they have had the leadoff hitter on.
So Garcia 2 times to the dish, 2 times making very solid
That
contact.
first one should have been a base hit, too.
Absolutely, and it was heading towards the corner, potential extra bases. Brings up Tony Lira, the first baseman from Arizona. 1 for 1 with the single. Right on right with a runner on first from the stretch. First pitch cut on and missed. Change up at 85 miles an hour. Lira behind it. Stout first baseman, 6'2", 220-pound, redshirt sophomore. Garcia creeps off the base at first, the 0-1 high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tony Lira. So many right-handed hitters for Wareham in this lineup. 8 righties, 1 lefty. The 1-1. Hit in the air, left side, hooking towards the line, and just foul. That was extra bases, 320 feet down the left field line. It one-hopped the wall, but instead, Lira just a little out in front, and it's a long and loud strike 2.
He's got plenty of power in that bat. He had a hard-hit single in that second inning, and he made it all the way over to third base. Nearly put Lincoln Garcia on third base if that one had been just a couple of feet to the right.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody gone, runner on first. Top of the 4th, no score between Wareham and Cotuit. Season opener here in 2026. The 1-2. Popped up right side, twisting foul and out of play. Into the trees down the right field line, and the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lira, a .336 average this past spring for Arizona. 1-2. Yarberry sets below the letters. The pitch rings him up. Outside corner, goes with the 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And Lira stands at it. Backwards K for the first out of the inning in the top of the 4th.
He did not like that call, was shaking his head as he went back to the dugout. But at the end of the day, home plate umpire Robert Melms calling it a strike.
Still a runner on first, Lincoln Garcia. He singled with a line drive into right field. Brings up the 9th hitting center fielder from Duke. It's R.J. Hamilton, who's played very well defensively in the home half. Reached on an error his first time up in the second. First offering, he swings and misses.
And that most recent pitch to Lira that he struck out on was there at the top of the zone, so that's the right call for the first out.
0-1, top of the 4th. Hamilton, plenty of speed. And a ground ball to the third baseman, Hogan Denny. And a check on first. And Garcia back with a head-first dive. No balls, 1 strike, 1 away, top of the 4th. Gatemen, no runs on 4 hits, no errors in the field. Cotuit, no runs on 1 hit. But Garrett Lambert, the starter, and another check on first. Another head-first slide. Garcia back safely, but Yarberry keeping him honest on the right side of the infield.
And the Gatemen got a Cotuit player out on the pickoff last inning, so worth it for Yarberry to give a few checks over there on first.
The 0-1 after a long pause. Pitch clock down to 5. The pitch, high and tight, 1-1.
Hamilton knew that all the way, was shaking his head immediately as the ball hit the top of the mitt at the top of the zone. Some nice plate discipline from R.J. Hamilton.
Gateman just finished his redshirt sophomore season with the Blue Devils. Hit .333. 1-1. At the knees, a called strike, and Yarberry works himself ahead in the count. Hamilton behind, it's 1-2. Plenty of speed on the feet of R.J. Hamilton. 10 doubles, 4 triples. Second time to the plate. Pitch clock down to 1. Runner on the move. The pitch swung on, fouled up, and behind home plate out of play. Hamilton fights it off, the 2-strike pitch. They'll do it again at 1-2.
It's the first time we've seen a steal attempt from Wareham so far this season.
Hamilton, 57 games this spring, started in all 57 for Duke. The 1-2. Slider tails away, taken for a ball, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia still on first with one away in the top of the fourth. Hamilton just that slow roller to the left side of the infield, his first time up in the second inning. Yarberry, no stranger to traffic, but the 2-2 cut on and missed. Got Hamilton to chase downstairs, and there's 2 gone in the top of the fourth.
Finally feels like Yarberry might be starting to find a groove. Back-to-back strikeouts for him here, and now can kind of attack Chris Ramirez at the top of the order.
5th punch out of the game for Yarberry. Lineup card turns over to the leadoff man from Cal Baptist into the transfer portal, Chris Ramirez. 5'9", 170-pound shortstop steps in from the right side. Still a runner on first, 2 gone. First pitch to Ramirez, fastball outside. 92-mile-an-hour four-seamer below the knees. Count 1-0. Ramirez grounded out to the shortstop in the first, walked in the second. 1-0. He takes on the outer edge for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia led off the inning with a leadoff single. Sharply hit line drive over the second baseman's head. But since then, back-to-back strikeouts for Yarberry. 1 looking, 1 swinging. The 1-1 on the way. This is low, and Ramirez ahead in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And in this game, that's been the story. Wareham has gotten the runner on early into the inning, but the offense is kind of falling apart after that.
From just above the belt, the 2-1 with 2 away. Comes home, breaking ball, dives beneath the bottom rail, and the count's 3-1. The lefty swinging left fielder, Jason Wax on deck. The lone left-handed hitter for Wareham. 3-1, 2 gone. Top of the fourth. Runner on the move. The pitch, down and away. 5-pitch walk to Chris Ramirez. And Burlington, for the 4th straight inning, has a runner in scoring position. And now Seo Jono wants to head out to the hill to talk things over with the opening day starter, Jackson Yarberry.
Finally, someone's starting to get warm out there in that bullpen for Cotuit. And if you're Yarberry, you've thrown 72 pitches up to this point and just 3 2/3. The pitch count is most definitely getting up there.
So Garcia on second, he singled, and Ramirez on first via the walk. They bring the entire infield in here on this opening day from Lowell Park in Cotuit. The season opener for the Gatemen back home tomorrow at Spillane Field for the first time in 2026, taking on Hyannis. We'll talk to you here on Cape League TV all summer long with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. Wareham, no runs, 4 hits, no errors. Meanwhile, Cotuit, no runs, just 1 hit, 1 error in the field. Jackson Yarberry has worked around a ton of traffic today. Mound visit breaks. Kevin Curtin, the pitching coach for the Kettleers, walks off, heads back to the third base dugout. Yarberry, 73 pitches, 44 for strikes. Through his first 3 innings, he stranded 6 base runners. First pitch to Jason Wax, the left fielder. Bounces in the dirt. O keeps it in front of him. Ricocheted off the chest protector, kept it in front. Pushed it into the field of play, and it's just ball 1 against Wax.
This is a favorable matchup. Wax is only one of 2 players so far in this game that Yarberry hasn't allowed on base.
1-0. After 1 shake, a nod from Yarberry. His 75th pitch in the 1-0. Chopped right side and foul. Took a couple of hops about halfway down the line between home plate and first base. And the count still 1-1 for Jason Wax. The junior from Tulane into the portal. Searching for a new home, playing his summer with Wareham. 1-1 with 2 away. The pitch. This is downstairs. Wax ahead in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike on the 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Yarberry made just 1 start in the spring for Indiana. 19 appearances, 18 out of the pen. Gets the opening day start for Cotuit. 2-1, comes home. lined right side on a hop, smothered by Davis. Jogs to the base and beats out the sprinting Wax for the third out of the inning. So Wareham gets 2 on, 1 via the hit. No runs, no errors in the field for Cotuit. Still no score. We head to the home half. We'll talk to CeCe Gabriel when we return here on Cape League TV.
Coming from Ramirez. And outside of getting on base, this is also about just getting the offense going for their team. When talking to Coach Smythe about the returning players as a whole, he said that all these players, they want to be here. In fact, they want to be here, and also when it comes to how they've made their impact, they said they did the right things and they've earned their spot. We'll see how these players continue to contribute back in the rest of the game. Back to you guys.
Thanks,
Welcome back here from Lowell Park in Cotuit. It's Wareham and the Kettleers. No score here in this season opener in 2026. With Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. Garrett Lambert back to work. The right-hander from Mercer into the transfer portal. He has faced the minimum so far, Dan. And the Gatemen certainly like what they have in their opening day starter.
They certainly do. I mean, he has been great. He led up his first base hit of the game in the bottom of the third. That was to the right fielder, landed Beaver, but then he helped himself out and picked him off. So that got rid of the trouble there and then proceeded to retire the next 2. Now, Lambert's been great, but it's not like Wareham has been doing him any favors. They've had a runner in scoring position in every inning, but haven't brought anyone home.
And no run support for Garrett Lambert. No score here in the season opening matchup between Cotuit and Wareham. Back to the top of the order for the Kettleers. It's righty, lefty, lefty, starting with Hunter Warren, the second baseman, in and out of the transfer portal from Wright State. He's already announced his commitment to North Carolina State. The first teamer from the Horizon League starts things off in the home half of the fourth, trying to give Cotuit its first run of the day. They haven't done a ton of damage, just that single in the third, like you mentioned, to Landon Beaver. Lambert with a smooth maneuver over to first, picked him off. Lambert has faced the minimum here as we reach the top of the fourth. From the windup, the first pitch is fouled straight back. Coming right at us, Dan, right here, field level.
We got a nice fence in front of us,
right.
So you're not at risk, and we don't want your face to get damaged. So
that's why we're on radio today.
Well, you got a face for radio, so it makes sense.
The 0-1. This is downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't worry. We get back to the cameras tomorrow at home. Home opener for the Gatemen, taking on the Harbor Hawks.
Back-to-back home games. I'll have Chatham on Monday as well.
1-1, breaking ball outside, check swing, the appeal down to first. Joe Caraco says Hunter Warren did not go, and the count's now 2-1. Warren struck out swinging. The only strikeout of the game for Garrett Lambert. The 2-1. Hit on the ground, left side. Ramirez charges on a couple of hops. Gloves, throws to first in time. Warren is retired to start things out here in the bottom of the fourth. No score between the Gatemen and Kettleers. Another great start to the frame for Garrett Lambert.
That's just a nice play over there at short by Ramirez. He's called a defensive magician, and for a reason. Makes that look so easy. Charges the ball, throws over to first on the run, and there's 1 down.
Defensive player of the year from his conference at Cal Baptist, Ramirez. First pitch to the lefty, Jake Hanley, breaking ball, chopped foul. Pinballed in between Hanley, the backstop Drew Rogers, and home plate umpire Robert Melms, and it's strike 1. But Ramirez, that defensive player of the year, also won his conference's player of the years. The 0-1, dots the inner third, a called strike. Lambert works himself ahead in the count, 0-2. He's been super impressive, pounding the strike zone. 33 pitches, 25 for strikes. The 0-2, breaking ball. Spikes in the dirt, and it's ball 1. Lambert, that 5-pitch mix. Primarily 4 pitches, works the splitter in occasionally. The 1-2, cut on and missed. Half swing, bounced in the dirt, the throw down to first in time. Rogers to Lira, and that's the second strikeout of the game for Garrett Lambert.
That pitch was nasty.
Yep.
Just a nice change at the bottom of the zone, and he teed him up for it, too. Was tunneling a few pitches there in that at-bat, just drops the changeup, and Hanley had no chance.
No score, bottom of the fourth, Wareham and Cotuit. Two drastically different offensive performances, but nonetheless, these two teams still tied at 0. First pitch to Tage Davis is down and away for ball 1. The first baseman from Louisville, ACC Player of the Year for the Cardinals after batting .355, 34 home runs. The 1-0, swing and a miss, a healthy cut, 92-mile-an-hour fastball at the belt. Davis comes up empty, and the count now evens a ball and a strike. Bases clear, bottom of the fourth. Out of the windup, the delivery. Just misses outside. Lambert tried the four-seamer at 93. Didn't get the call from Robert Melms, and now Davis ahead, 2 balls, 1 strike. First-team All-American, 6'4", 220-pound left-handed hitter. 2-1, swing and a miss. Fastball at the knees. Lambert back even in the count. Leveled at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone, bottom of the fourth. After a deep breath, Lambert deals home. Popped up left side. Hooking foul. Beyond the bleachers, first base side, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cotuit really excited about Tage Davis. Rightfully so. The accolades speak for themselves. The 2-2 half swing, appeal down. He did not go. Rogers, after taking the breaking ball, smothered it, tagged Davis in case.
Well, Lambert was walking off the mound there. He thought he fully went around.
Instead, count works full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Davis grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. 3-2 on the way. Just outside. First walk of the day for Garrett Lambert. And Davis takes the trot down the first base line to give Cotuit its first base runner of the inning. Still 2 down in the bottom of the fourth.
Something to watch out for here for Cotuit. Seems like number 42, Kyle Kipp, getting warm in the pen right now, so could see a new pitcher come the top half of the fifth.
Brings up Hogan Denny 0 for 1 today. From the right-handed side, he swings and pops up the first pitch behind home plate. Well out of Lowell Park, and the count now 0-1. Denny lined out to the shortstop, Ramirez, his first time up. 0-1 with 2 gone. Lambert sets, deals. Fastball outer third, a called strike, 0-2. Lambert, when you talk about those secondary pitches, curveball, changeup, slider, and a splitter, plenty of options to keep the Kettleers hitters off balance. The 0-2. Breaking ball that time, he goes with the curve, and it misses down and away.
He loves to throw that curve for a strike. Has a whiff rate of around 30% down there in the bottom of the zone. So he just loves to get it down there and let the hitter swing.
The 1-2 to Denny with a runner on first and 2 away. After a long pause, Lambert delivers. Hit on the ground sharply to the shortstop Ramirez. He bobbles, and it's into shallow left field. Continuing to roll. Play at third, and it's over the head of Garcia, and Lambert backs it up. No further damage, but Denny takes second on the throw, and Davis all the way from first to third, and Cotuit has 2 on and 2 in scoring position. Its first real threat of the day. Right there, Dan. Still no score in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, that is a very uncharacteristic error there over at shortstop for Ramirez. He's the back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year for Cal Baptist. He's one to rarely, if ever, make an error. So that's one that hopefully, for Wareham's sake, doesn't come back to bite them.
First pitch to Seo Juno, and he swings and lifts it foul left side. And Ramirez right there, the play was at second with Davis on first, and it looked like he kind of lifted his head, maybe a bit too early, trying to get that flip off to Cade Elam, the second baseman. First time this defense really playing together all together. 0-1 to the catcher, 0 from High Point. Out of the windup, Lambert takes a look at second and now steps off. Pitch clock was approaching 0, got all the way down to 1, and then shook off his catcher, Drew Rogers, and now the battery wants to meet down the hill. Talk things over. No score, bottom of the 4th. It's Tage Davis on third. He reached on the walk, and then Hogan Denny on second reached on the error. Denny responsible for the one error in the field for Cotuit. This time he's on the beneficiary side after Ramirez on the ground ball to short. Trickled into left field. It was a tough play. It was hard hit. But Ramirez, like you mentioned, back-to-back conference defensive player of the years. 1-1 with 2 gone. One shake from Lambert, now comes set. Brings it to the letters, pushes it away from his body. Brings it home. Misses outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Oh, from the left-handed side, Lambert not great with runners in scoring position against lefty hitters this past spring with Mercer. 24 ERA. The 1-1 is skied left side, hooking foul. And the fans in the first base grandstands look up and watch it fall amongst the trees. And the count now 1-2. Lambert works himself ahead in the count. Oh, flew out to the center fielder Hamilton, his first time up in the second. Big South Player of the Year. Hit .351 with High Point, 17 home runs. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Drop, third strike. Rogers recovers quickly. Gloves goes to first. It's in time to retire the side. No hits, no runs, 1 error in the field, and 2 runners left on. We're through 4 from Lowell Park, and still no runs in the Cape Cod Baseball League season opener between Wareham and Cotuit.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
No score between Wareham and Cotuit. We've hit the top of the 5th between the Gatemen and Kettleers. And Cotuit makes its first call to the bullpen, and it comes in the form of the 6'1", 220-pound right-hander from Mount St. Mary's. Josh Halshak takes the mound for Cotuit. 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, and a changeup. Originally from Hazel Township, Pennsylvania. And he enters after Jackson Yarberry gets the opening day start and worked around plenty of traffic and kept the score knotted at 0 between Wareham and Cotuit.
Certainly left a lot on. 8 runners left on base for Wareham in the 4 innings that Yarberry was on the bump. Only leaves giving up 4 hits, and overall for him, 5 strikeouts. So he worked around the damage. Sure, he gave up 3 walks, but at the end of the day, hung a 0 on the board. So not much more you could ask for from Jackson Yarberry.
Josh Halsack toes the rubber, set to face the 3-4-5 hitters, heart of the order for Wareham. It starts with Caden McDonald, the designated hitter from Florida. Doubled in the first, walked in the third. From the windup, the first pitch from Halsack of the season. Cut on and missed. Goes slider to open up his 2026 summer, and McDonald off balance. The count's 0-1. Wareham has had no issues getting runners on. It's getting them to cross home plate. 0-1. Takes, it's outside. Change up, and the count now 1-1. McDonald was the first Gateman to tally a hit against Yarberry, 1 of 4. 1-1. Popped up the middle and down for a base hit. It hung up in the air, and the 3 converged between the center fielder Isaac Sturgis and the 2 middle infielders, and it drops in between the 3. And now Caden McDonald's start to the summer is a 2 for 2, and he's reached in all 3 times he's stepped to the plate.
Couldn't ask for much more, and he was so pivotal last season for Wareham, playing in 31 games for the Gatemen, picking up right where he left off here at Lowell Park.
4th straight inning that Wareham has put its leadoff hitter on the base paths. Still no score, though. Top of the 5th brings up Dylan Dubovic. 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. First pitch, fastball at 91 miles an hour, misses down and away. Count 1-0. McDonald, not a base-stealing threat, a two-way player at Florida, but no stolen bases for the Gators. 1-0. Lined right side and foul. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dubovic, the right fielder from Miami. We're in the top of the 5th, no score. Season opener between the Gatemen and Kettleers. Cotuit ended Wareham's season in 2025 in the West Division semifinals. 1-1. Fastball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Halsack just finished up a spring with a 5.93 ERA across 19 appearances and 41 innings of work. The 2-1. Chopped left side and foul. Took Halsack off the hill, and Denny started charging from third. Lands to the left of the line, and the count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, top of the 5th.
And this is a guy on the bump who gets the swing and miss. He was averaging about a strikeout every inning, so sure, the ERA is a little bit high, but he is someone who can mow down hitters.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The runner on first. Nobody out. Halsack shakes off the sign twice from O, now nods. Takes a peek over his left shoulder at first. Now delivers. 2-2, lashed, right side. Coming in on it, Beaver, and he makes the grab for the first out. It's kind of a similarly hit ball from McDonald's, but just better placement on McDonald's as opposed to Dubovic. And so a fly out in the 5th, 1 gone.
That's an area where on Dubovic's spray chart, he loves it. 900 OPS from that exact spot where the fastball just came in towards the bottom of the zone. So put good wood on it, just went to an unfortunate part of the park.
Brings up the second baseman, Cade Elam. Right-hander from Louisville. First pitch. This is outside. Fastball at 91. Elam 0 for 2 today. Has not reached. Struck out swinging in the first. Stranded 2 base runners in the opening frame, and then grounded out to the pitcher his last time up in the 3rd. 1-0. Cut on and missed. 92-mile-an-hour four-seamer right above the belt. Can't ask for much more if you're Cade Elam, but instead, he's now even in a 1-1 count.
That's where he likes it, too. Lives at the top of the zone, so definitely one that he wanted to get wood on.
From the belt, runner on the move. The pitch high, throw down to second, off target, into center field. McDonald sprawls to his feet, but instead stays put at second. Charging Sturgis keeps McDonald at second, but another inning, Dan, where Wareham puts a runner into scoring position, but still no score between the Gatemen and Kettleers.
Feels like you're just watching the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. And this is the first time in a little while that the Gatemen have had the runner into scoring position with only 1 out in the inning.
Gatemen have left 8 on base so far today. 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The 2-1. Fastball dots the outer third, and the count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. So joke's on us. We said McDonald wasn't a base stealing threat. I guess I shouldn't loop you in there.
He does a little bit of everything. You said it.
I said McDonald isn't a base stealing threat.
He hits, he pitches, and he steals bags too.
Kevin O'Sullivan tries to keep his two-way star healthy. Pitch clock down to 1. The pitch, 2-2 outside. Trying to keep the base runner off balance in McDonald. Housack let that one dwindle all the way down. Instead, the count works full, 1 gone. First base open if Housack wants to pitch around Elam. There's 1 gone in the top of the 5th. 3-2. 2 looks at second. Now goes home. Swing and a miss from Elam. He's down on strikes for the second time today, and there's 2 down here in the top of the 5th. And Housack's first appearance in 2026. First inning of work out of the pen, relieving the starter Jackson Yarberry.
And that's a nice pitch there, bottom of the zone. And if you're Housack, he's been tunneling at the top of the zone for that entire at-bat and then finally brings one down low. Just caught Elam a little bit off guard.
Drew Rogers is 0 for 1 today, but did reach, worked to walk against the starter Yarberry. Right-handed catcher from Georgia Tech. Looks at a first pitch slider that dives away from him. Gets ahead in the count, 1-0. Walked his first time up in the second. 4th straight inning where Wareham has put its leadoff hitter on the base paths. 1-0. Fastball outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Rogers. Right on right the matchup. Josh Housack out of the pen from Mount St. Mary's. At the belt, lifts the left leg, goes home. Hit on a hop to the second baseman Warren, who smothers, goes to first. It's in time. Wareham leaves its 9th runner on base. We're halfway home from Lowell Park in the season opener in the 2026 summer on Cape Cod. No score between the Gatemen and Kettleers. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th when we return on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
We've reached the bottom of the 5th from Lowell Park on Cape Cod. It's Wareham and Cotuit, no score, as Garrett Lambert, who drew the start on opening day for the Gatemen under 4th-year skipper Ryan Smythe, is back out for his 5th inning of work. He's done very, very well. With Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky, set to face the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Righty, lefty, righty, Jesse DiMaggio, Landon Beaver, and Dayton Murphy. The trio due up for the Kettleers, who have totaled just 1 hit against the right-hander from Mercer. He's currently in the transfer portal, feeling out his options, getting his summer reps in with the Gatemen. He fires his last pitch down to his backstop, Drew Rogers. Throws it down to second. We're set to go in the bottom of the 5th. Starts with Jesse DiMaggio, the designated hitter from Westmont, a Division II in California. Hit .309 with 13 home runs. As he swipes his left foot across the dirt in the right-handed batter's box. He sets, Lambert readies, and deals home. First pitch fastball high and tight, and the count is 1-0. DiMaggio, a weak ground out to the pitcher. Lambert in the second. 1-0. Fastball inside this time, and Lambert behind early, 2 balls and no strikes. Base is clear here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-0. Hit in the air, right side, hangs up long enough for the second baseman, Kate Elam, to haul it in. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 5th.
This has really been a master class so far of a start from Garrett Lambert. Has never really gotten into trouble, and the one time he did, it was because of his defense. He's just throwing the ball carefree, letting the defense help him out, and it's been working perfectly so far for the Gatemen.
Brings up Landon Beaver, responsible for Cotuit's 1 hit today. Lambert nods, right on left, first pitch, fouled straight back. Into the chain link fence, count 0-1. Beaver selection for the American second team after a strong season with UAB. He swings at the 0-1, grounds it back to the pitcher Lambert, who underhand flips to first after a slight jog. It's in time to retire Beaver. That's 2 up. That's 2 down in the bottom of the 5th.
It just
Still
looks
no score.
Easy out there for him right now. I mean, obviously he's trying, but with the way things are going, it just looks so effortless right now for Garrett Lambert on the bump, and he's on the verge now of going 5 innings clean, and really clean. It's just been 1-hit ball.
Yeah, 55 pitches, 38 strikes. Now set to deal to the right-handed shortstop, Dayton Murphy. Flew out to the center fielder his first time up, and he swings and misses. And a breaking ball downstairs. Lambert gets him to chase, and the count's 0-1. Lambert, 6'2", 220-pound right-hander from Mercer. 0-1, he works quickly and delivers a slider outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases clear, bottom of the 5th. No score here on this opening day matchup between Wareham and Cotuit. 1-1. Fastball inside. Slips past the glove of Rogers, but nobody on the base paths for the Kettleers, and no imminent threat for Rogers, the backstop from Georgia Tech. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's 2 gone. The pitch, skied, right field. Dubovic comes in, and Elam drifts back, and the second baseman makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, and nobody left on. We're through 5 here on opening day in 2026. The Kettleers and Gatemen are tied up at 0 here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
To the top of the 6th, no score between Wareham and Cotuit. I'm Adam Hipsky with Dan Shalam here on Game 1 of 40 for the Gatemen in the summer of 2026. And Dan, the story has been Wareham getting the runners on, not being able to push them all the way across. 1 for 5 today with runners in scoring position, and they've left 9 runners on.
This should already be a 2, 3, 4-run lead for the Gatemen the way that they've been hitting. I mean, they're out hitting the Kettleers 5-1, and they've looked good and have had good at-bats at the plate. 4 straight innings, too, where they've had the leadoff hitter on, and now Lincoln Garcia will try and do that again. Did it in the 4th.
7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Gatemen. It's a trio of righties, Garcia, Lira, and Hamilton. Facing the first call out of the pen for Cotuit, and it's Josh Halsack. Through 17 pitches in his debut inning. Gave up a leadoff single and then worked it clean after that, and he gets Garcia to swing at a first pitch fastball up in the zone, and the count's 0-1.
And that's the thing. The Gatemen have really been making this Kettleers pitching staff work overall. Yarbury went over 70. Halsack already is going to hit 20 in this inning.
0-1, and it's fouled back off the mask of O. And it popped up into the air, into the grass, and the count's 0-2. Garcia has made probably the best contact consistently across this Wareham lineup. Lined into a double play his first time up, but it was a ball that was hit sharply off the bat right at the first baseman, Tate Davis. Doubled up Rogers, who was off the base at first. And then back in the fourth, lined it over the second baseman's head. But right now, he's got his back against the wall and an 0-2 count with the bases clear. From the belt, Halsack winds and delivers. Fastball away, 1-2 the count.
Went down in the zone on that after the first two pitches. Up high, just above the strike zone, so going to be interesting to see what he goes with here in a 1-2 strike count.
Rarity where Halsack has worked ahead in the count. 20 pitches, only 11 strikes. 1-2. Is fouled straight back into the fence. Garcia fends it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One of 5 games in Cape Cod today getting underway. Harwich and Yarmouth Dennis, the only other one, a 4:30 start. The other 3 set to get underway at 6. 1-2. Just outside, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Tried to buckle down Garcia at the knees. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Garcia rests the bat over his right shoulder. Props it up. 2-2 on the way home. Fastball high and count works full.
Nice plate discipline here. Just to work back into this count because Halsack was ahead 1-2, and now a chance for Garcia to do some damage.
6'5", 220-pound sophomore in the right-handed batter's box. Gets ready for the full count offering. It comes home. Swing and a miss. Goes fastball and elevates it. Garcia can't catch up. And there's one down in the top of the 6th.
Shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout. That one only came in at 92 miles per hour, probably one that he should have had, but Halsack in that at-bat, all strikes but one of them were at the top of the zone, and just outside of it does enough to get the strikeout on Garcia.
Tony Lira, the first baseman from Arizona, 1 for 2 today. The base is clear. Still no score between the Gatemen and Kettleers. The pitch. Called strike. Top of the zone, 0-1. Halsack relieving the starter Jackson Yarberry from Indiana. Went 4 innings after getting the opening day start. Gave up 4 hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. As the 1-1 is hit on the ground to the shortstop Murphy, who gloves it, throws to first. It's in time for the second out of the inning. Second ground out of the day for the reliever Josh Halsack. And he's working a very clean start to the 6th inning.
And a chance for Cotuit to finally have their first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game here.
Not only that, but it would be the first frame that Wareham hasn't moved a runner into scoring position. R.J. Hamilton, the center fielder from Duke, steps in the right side. Right on right, first pitch. Fastball that the backstop could not corral, but once again with the bases clear. No worries as it continued to roll in the grass towards Chris Ramirez. The shortstop currently waits on deck. Hamilton hitting 9th in this opening day lineup from 4th-year manager Ryan Smythe. 1-0. Flared foul, right side. Curls past the third base grandstands, and the count now 1-1. Hamilton, 5'11", 185-pounder. Just played his second season at Duke after redshirting in his freshman year with Vanderbilt. 1-1 with 2 gone. Halsack sets, takes a deep breath, and fires. Swing and a miss. Another fastball, top of the zone. Hamilton can't catch up to it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 away, top of the 6th. Wareham and Cotuit, still no score. Gatemen still have their starter, Garrett Lambert. Josh Halsack, first call out of the pen. His 1-2 offering is outside. Back to the fastball. Count 2-2.
Fastball is something that Hamilton loves. He smashes it in the zone. 27 hits this past season just off of that fastball. So he's a guy you don't want to leave something in the middle to. He'll definitely hit it.
He tried him with the fastball in the 1-2 count. Now they're even at 2-2. Halsack fires. Swing and a miss. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. It was Hamilton's kryptonite that time around against Halsack. Wareham goes down in order. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, and nobody left on base. To the bottom of the sixth we go. 9-1-2, due up.
Fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen cleanup on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
To the bottom of the sixth between Wareham and Cotuit in this 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League season opener. Still no score. Kettleers and Gatemen. Cotuit hasn't scratched one across against the starter Garrett Lambert, but the bright side for the Kettleers, Dan, is that Garrett Lambert's day is done. He goes 5 innings, surrenders just 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He gives way to the right-hander, 6'5", 205-pound sophomore from Arkansas. Peyton Lee makes his Cape Cod debut against the 9-1-2 hitters, and it starts with Isaac Sturgis, the center fielder from Michigan State, into the transfer portal. He's 0 for 1 today. Flew out against the starter Garrett Lambert, who was phenomenal after getting the nod on the hill for the opening day.
He was never in trouble at all. Gave up 1 hit through 5 innings. It was a perfect start for Wareham.
Out of the windup, Lee's first pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop Ramirez, who fields it cleanly, goes to first, and Lira corrals in time to retire Sturgis. 1 pitch, 1 out for Peyton Lee here to start 2026.
It's a great start for Peyton Lee, and in his freshman season, he struggled. A 9.19 ERA on 7 appearances and just 15 2/3 innings pitched, but he has a 2.67 strikeout to walk ratio. The potential is there. He had some NCAA tournament experience against Kansas, threw an inning and a third there, didn't let up a run. He's hoping that this season can really show off his true potential here on the Cape.
So Peyton Lee works a ground out to the shortstop, a 6-3 put out to start the sixth. Now it turns to the second baseman, Hunter Warren. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Base is clear. No score between the Gatemen and Kettleers. Cotuit just 1 hit across 5 innings against the starter Lambert. 1-0 misses outside, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Two 2-0 the count. Warren struck out swinging in the first, grounded out to the shortstop in the fourth. Now trying to be the first base runner of the day against Peyton Lee, and he stares at a fastball on the outside corner called strike. It's 2-1. 4-pitch mix for Peyton Lee, the righty from Arkansas. Fastball, changeup, slider, and a sinker. 2-1. Goes slider, and it tails away. Misses outside, and the count's 3-1. Loves that slider down and away. That's his chase pitch, the 3-1. Misses outside, and a 5-pitch walk. First base runner of the day surrendered off the right hand of Peyton Lee, and it comes 2 batters in.
And you mentioned the slider. He threw 4 of those coming across the body there of the righty Sturgis, trying to get him to bite and chase. He simply wouldn't. Those pitches were close on the outer half, but not enough, so some traffic to deal with here.
Jake Hanley, the second teamer out of the Big Ten. Center fielder from Indiana. Steps in the left-handed batter's box. Right on left, first pitch with the runner on first. Paints the inside corner, a called strike, 0-1. Hanley 0 for 2 today. 6'6" junior, batted .355 with 14 home runs for the Hoosiers, and he looks at a sinker at the knees, and the count's 0-2.
That's great execution right there by Lee. A little bit tougher for him against the lefties, but doing a nice job with this pitch mix.
Now a check on first. Head first dive to the back of the bag. Warren in safely. Cotuit and Wareham, no score, bottom of the 6th. The 0-2. Smoked. Right center field, heading for the gap. It's down. It 2 hops the wall. This could be trouble. It gets the wave around third. The relay to the plate, off target, not in time, and the Kettleers strike first. In the bottom of the 6th, an RBI double from Jake Hanley scores Hunter Warren all the way from first. It's Cotuit 1, Wareham 0.
That is just an unfortunate break after Wareham had so much offensive might in those first 6 innings at the plate. And Lambert gives you a great start. Lee lets up a double into the gap, and that's really the first hard contact that the Kettleers have had all day long.
So after Lambert goes 5 innings strong and gives up just 1 hit through the first 3 batters, Cotuit plates its first run.
And there is someone warming right now out there in the Gatemen bullpen.
Brings up the third hitting first baseman. Such a dangerous part of the order for Cotuit. Tate Davis swings and whiffs at the first pitch. It bounces off the catcher Drew Rogers, but continued to roll with good head of steam towards the pitcher's mound, and the count 0-1.
Not a favorable matchup here for Lee, and he's really going to have to work after just giving up a double to another lefty in Jake Hanley.
0-1. Crushed. Deep right field. Hamilton drifts back at the track, makes the catch, and tagging up to third, Hanley in safely.
That was a deep fly ball. Hamilton was getting very close to the wall out there in center field. It's 397 to dead center. Was a little bit to the right of it. Peyton Lee keeps it in the park, and he's just 1 out away from a 1-run bottom of the 6th.
Kettleers lead at 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up the cleanup man, Hogan Denny. Reached on an error his last time up. One of the few base runners that the Kettleers had against the starter Garrett Lambert. First pitch, fastball outside, 1-0. Denny, a utility man from Indiana, trying to bring home his Hoosier teammate Jake Hanley, who's down at third. The 1-0. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Denny started at 5 different positions in Bloomington this spring for the Hoosiers. Certainly a luxury for the Gatemen, for the Kettleers, rather.
First player to do that since 2005 for IU.
2-0 misses outside, and he's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. First and second base open. Hanley on second. He doubled and scored Hunter Warren. 3-0. Misses outside. 4-pitch walk to Hogan Denny. Runners on the corners for the Kettleers in the bottom of the 6th.
And the interesting thing about that at-bat was the first 3 pitches were the same exact thing. It was slider, outer half, and it was the same approach to Hunter Warren, who walked and eventually came home to score. Peyton Lee having trouble getting bite, and all 4 pitches in that at-bat, the same thing there on that outside corner.
Say, John O. 0 for 2 today, the catcher from High Point. Steps in the left side. We saw the trouble that Peyton Lee had with the lefty hitters earlier. First pitch is swung on and skied. Left field drifting towards foul ground. Wax in pursuit, and it's out of play for strike 1. Check that, he did make the play. And that retires the side. So Cotuit brings its first run across, and we lost Jason Wax in the shadows down the foul ground in left field. So the Kettleers lead 1-0 through 6. On the other side, Dan Shalam has you the rest of the way here in the season opener between Wareham and Cotuit.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Top of the 7th here at Lowell Park. The Cotuit Kettleers leading the Wareham Gatemen 1-0. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Cotuit scoring its first run and the first run of the ball game in the last bottom of the 6th. That was after Peyton Lee came in for Garrett Lambert, who started the game for the Gatemen, had a stellar 5 innings, but Lee letting up a run in his first inning of relief. Top of the order here for the Gatemen. Right, left, right. 1, 2, 3 coming up, and it'll start with Chris Ramirez, the shortstop, who is 0 for 1 today with a couple of walks. Still Josh Halsack on the mound, and Ramirez takes the first pitch ball. Halsack came into this game in the 5th and has done a nice job since 2 scoreless innings so far, and it really seems like in that last inning he started to find his groove. Went 1, 2, 3, a strikeout, ground out, strikeout, and it sets him up here in the top of the 6th, now with the 2-0 count against Chris Ramirez.
It hasn't really been heavily centered around any part of the order for Wareham today.
2-0 is chopped up the middle, gloved by the shortstop Murphy. He throws to first in time, and there's one down here in the 7th.
And when you look at the top of the order, Caden McDonald has produced well for the Gatemen. Bottom of the order has gotten you some production, but they've gotten the production. When you look at the numbers, 5 hits in 6 innings, a couple of walks from the Kettleers pitching staff, an error. They've gotten the runners, just can't score.
Jason Wax, the left fielder at the dish, 0 for 3. This afternoon, looking to change that. The first pitch, he swings, hits it foul, but his bat goes flying towards the Gateman dugout.
And Dan, he actually did that in the scrimmage a couple of nights ago. Lost the handle and actually sent it flying beyond the netting and into the stands, but it wasn't a particularly large crowd there for the scrimmage, so nobody was hurt. That time, it does get the netting, but I don't know what it is about Jason Wax. Probably need to talk to him.
Maybe we should get him some wax. Get him some sticky spray.
There you go.
Something to keep those gloves stuck onto the bat. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th with the Gatemen trailing by 1. The pitch. Down at the knees for ball 1. Wax in the portal right now. It's a first-team all-conference selection from Tulane where he batted .327. But still looking for his first hit here in the summer of 2026. The 1-1. A big cut and a miss. Count goes to 1-2.
You would think for a guy with the last name Wax in the day of name, image, and likeness, this wouldn't be something that he would have an issue with.
You would think, but hey, maybe he can get a deal sometime soon. 1-2. Chopped foul behind the dish. Count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. And for the Gatemen, it really feels like they should have had some runs across at this point. This doesn't feel like a game where they should necessarily be trailing, but they are.
Oh, yeah, that's baseball, but for Wareham, it certainly feels like a frustrating opening day. No runs on the board, but they've gotten plenty of production.
Housack fires, swing out into center field. Sturgis moving back on it. He makes the play. Quickly, 2 down here in the 7th.
Not a great breeze there, but it did continue to push Sturgis back towards the track. Continued to carry and carry and carry, but if there's anywhere to look at this Gateman lineup and be a little bit disappointed in, it's probably at your top 2 hitters. Wax is 0 for 3 today. So 0 for 4 now, but they've gotten the base runners.
Caden McDonald, the exact opposite. 2 for 2 with a walk. Big cut and a miss for strike 1. And Josh Hallsack has done a beautiful job coming out of the pen.
Absolutely.
8 straight retired for him, and the only one that he didn't was against Caden McDonald, who had a single off of him. First batter that he faced when he came into the game.
Since then, retired 8 straight.
0-1. Popped up into right foul territory. That ball goes out of play. No balls and 2 strikes with Housack now on the verge of retiring 9 straight Gatemen.
Not a great placement for us right there, Dan, as that ball continued to hook down the right field line. Field level, slanted down the first base side.
Couldn't really see down there, but
yeah,
made it work. Hallsack comes set. His 0-2. Misses outside. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Going against Caden McDonald, the designated hitter out of Florida, who was a cornerstone of this Gateman team last year and showing so once again here in his first game of 2026 with Wareham. The 1-2. At the knees, called for strike 3. McDonald goes down looking, and the Gatemen once again put up another 0. 9 straight retired for Housack. Cotuit leads things 1-0 here at Lowell Park as it's time to stretch. You're listening to Gateman Baseball here on Cape League TV.
Gateman fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A-Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962 2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Bottom of the 7th at Lowell Park, with the Gatemen trailing the Cotuit Kettleers 1-0. It's a call to the bullpen for the Gatemen, a short leash on Peyton Lee. He comes out after just one inning, and he gave up the only run in this game. Andrew Koshi is on, the righty, standing at 6'2", 205, deals a first pitch strike at the knees. He's a senior, currently at Maryland, where he pitched to a 5.84 ERA this past season. The 0-1 misses down low. Koshi has a mix of fastball, slider, sinker, and curveball. Primarily uses those first three, fastball, slider, and sinker, with the fastball being the most used at around 38%. The 1-1 pitch is grounded over to the right side. It gets through for a hit. Jesse DiMaggio, the DH, leading things off here in the 7th, and he shoots one through the right side for a leadoff runner.
Tough start for Andrew Koshi. You talked about how much he liked the fastball. Well, DiMaggio had the scouting report on that because he saw the 90-mile-an-hour four-seamer and punched it towards the opposite side.
Landon Beaver, the right fielder, at the dish now. 1 for 2 in this game. Had the first hit of the ball game for the Kettleers and then was picked off by starter Garrett Lambert. First pitch misses outside, and Koshi's release angle different from what the Kettleers have seen so far today. A little bit of a submariner action using that sidearm to his advantage. Koshi comes set just above the belt. The 1-0. Hit out into shallow left field. Ranging over is Wax. He makes the play, and one down here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good bounce back there from Koshi after allowing the single. It wasn't well hit by any means, but perfectly placed right side of the infield. And that time gets Beaver to lift one, like you mentioned, Dan, shallow left field. Plenty of time for Wax to get under it.
Dayton Murphy, the shortstop, at the plate now, 0 for 2 in this game. Takes a first pitch down in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Murphy, 2 flyouts in this game, 1 into center field and then 1 into shallow right that Elam actually ended up making the play on. The 1-0. Cut on and missed for strike 1. Koshi's a familiar face. He's played in the Cape before. This is 3rd summer on Cape Cod, his 2nd with Wareham. Played with Brewster after his first season with Wake Forest. That was before he transferred to Maryland, and then spent a little bit of time with the Gatemen last summer. His 1-1 misses down in the dirt for ball 2. And Koshi's seen consistent improvement, a 7.13 ERA in his first collegiate season with Maryland, then a 5.8 this past season with the Terrapins. So getting better season by season, and those numbers were down from his time at Wake Forest. The 2-1 is once again bounced in there, so a 3-ball, 1-strike count now for Koshi to work with against the righty Dayton Murphy.
And command wasn't necessarily a huge issue for Koshi this spring with the Terrapins. 30 walks across 45 innings of work. So it typically he's more of a pitch to soft contact guy, but right now behind 3-1.
He's going to need to come up with something. The 3-1. It's clubbed over to the right side. That ball trickling near the fair foul line, and it is foul. Koshi can breathe a sigh of relief, and the count goes full with a runner at first and one down here in the bottom of the 7th.
And obviously, Dan, you mentioned it, that he's a primarily fastball pitcher, and as are most guys, throws it nearly 40% of the time. But you have to respect those two other pitches, rather, especially the slider and the sinker. Sinker about a third of the time, the slider a fourth of the time.
Koshi
mixes in those three well enough.
Lances at first, runner going down to second. Here's the throw, not there in time. That is a stolen base for DiMaggio. And also on the play, he was going already, but Murphy works the walk. So runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 7th.
So now Koshi trying to work around a little bit of traffic. It was a nice start. Actually, a great start for Garrett Lambert.
Couldn't ask for anything more from him.
Exactly. And these two relievers, Cotuit has started to have a little bit of success against them as we get deeper and deeper into this game.
The lefty Isaac Sturgis in the box. Runners at first and second. One down here in the bottom of the 7th. Koshi comes set. Deals. Big cut and a miss for strike one.
Once again, when you look at this game, and we're in the bottom of the 7th now, when you look at it in its totality, it feels like Wareham was the better team for a large portion of the game, but Garrett Lambert couldn't get any run support through his first 5 innings. That's what his start went.
0-1. Flown out into shallow left field, coming on his wax. He's got it. 2 down. Runners stay at first and second.
It's a huge out with where the Kettleers are at in this order, because right now you get to the top of the Cotuit lineup and it gets very, very dangerous. This is where Kettleers did their damage against the first reliever out of the pen for the Gatemen with Peyton Lee.
Hunter Warren, the second baseman at the plate. He's the only run scored so far in this game. He walked last inning and then came all the way around, trying to give his team a little bit of insurance here with runners at first and second. The first pitch from Koshi misses at the knees for ball 1. And Warren so far in this game, 0 for 2. That walk in the 6th being how he reached and then made it all the way around. The 1-0. Cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike here for Koshi. Working on the righty Warren. Just transferred from Wright State over to NC State, heading into his redshirt junior year. Batted .361 over at Wright State. 1-1 pitch from Koshi catches the bottom of the zone, 1-2. So now just 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam and keeping things a 1-run game.
This would be huge for the Gatemen. Try and get some momentum. Right now down to their final 6 outs.
Koshi gets the sign, comes set at the belt, winds and fires. Pitch is chopped foul behind the plate. Count stays at 1-2.
Slow start for Koshi in terms of finding the zone, but 5 of his last 7 pitches inside the rails. He's needed it.
Certainly has, and the Gatemen need it right now with runners at first and second and 2 down. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Koshi fires. He misses on the outside of the plate, was trying to get a chase there with the slider, but Warren not biting, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Gatemen have 4, 5, 6 due up in the top half of the 8th. Trailing this game by just a singular run. The 2-2. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes full. Runners will be on the move here with 2 outs on the board.
Nowhere to put Warren. First and second base occupied. 2 outs, runners on the move.
Don't want to be facing Hanley, who's on deck. He just had the RBI double last inning. The payoff pitch misses in the dirt. It gets by Rogers. And coming home right now is DiMaggio. He's stuck now between home plate and third. Quickly skips back over to third base, but that was nearly disastrous for the Gatemen. Regardless, the bases are now loaded with the hot-hitting lefty Jake Hanley coming to the dish.
Yeah, that was a sharp turn around third. Was approaching probably the midway point between third and home. And Rogers hustled to it, and now a mound visit with the bases loaded. Still just a 1-run game.
And that's the thing. The Gatemen just need to get out of this inning. Simple as that. And they've got 4, 5, 6 due up with Jubovic, Elam, and Rogers. So with the mound visit, we're going to toss things over to our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel. CeCe, what do you got?
Well, guys, coming into the Cape League, there is so much pressure. And when talking to Wareham coach Ryan Smythe, he said that a lot of these guys come in and they're really good in high school, really good in college, and it's the first time they possibly have struggled in their career. Here we're seeing that with the Gatemen. They're down by 1 run, but he said that part of their responsibility is overcoming those moments, and part of the coaching staff is responsible for that as well. This is their job, to shape these players to become even better. We'll see how they finish out the game. Back to you guys.
This is certainly one of those moments right now where the Gatemen need some of that.
She's right. I mean, this is basically college all-stars. You know what I mean? Like,
it is. It's the best of the best.
And you look to our left, right behind home plate, and in the MLB scouts area, it's littered with guys. So, you know, this is high-level baseball right now.
First pitch with the bases loaded from Koshi to Hanley, misses outside for ball 1. Hanley did some damage last inning, a hard hit ball into the gap that put the Kettleers on the board, trying to replicate that and really blow this game open. The 1-0 catches the bottom of the zone. Koshi pitching with lots of pressure on him right now, trying to get out of this jam and still keep things a 1-run game here for the Gatemen. The 1-1 miss is a called strike, even though Rogers dropped it at the bottom of the zone. So now a point where Koshi can attack in a 1-ball, 2-strike count with the bases loaded and 2 down.
And you kind of see that early in the season, especially. This is probably the first time Rogers has ever caught Koshi. Two might just not be on the same page.
Koshi's 1-2. Misses on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And even if Drew Rogers has caught a slider from a guy that has, you know, that 1/4 arm slot, you haven't caught Andrew Koshi's slider from a 1/4 arm slot. So some of those things, you kind of have to get used to it.
Ducks on the pond. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Chop to the right side, foul. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Feels like Koshi has Hanley very off balance right now. He's looked at a couple of pitches that were strikes. He swung at a couple of pitches at balls. So now in this 2-2 count, you still have 1 ball to play with. Try and go with the swing and miss thing. Got bases loaded.
Koshi shakes off a couple of signs. He wants something in particular. Now comes set at the belt and fires. Strike 3, got him swinging. Koshi works out of the jam. A nice fastball on the outer half. Gets Hanley to go down, and the Gatemen are keeping this game close. It's just 1-0 Kettleers heading to the 8th. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Back here at Lowell Park, Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. A 1-0 ball game with the Kettleers in front and a couple of defensive changes for Cotuit after stranding the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Jace Lee coming into left field. He replaces Jake Hanley, who just struck out to end the bottom of the 7th. And there's a new arm on the bump. It's Tyler Brashear out there right now. Spent his sophomore year at Eckerd College in 2026. 56 innings pitched and an ERA of 3.86.
And if you're Wareham, you're certainly happy that they've made another call to the pen because Josh Halsack was incredible. Retired the last 9 hitters he faced, 3 innings, just 1 hit, no walks, and 4 punch-outs. So he departs, and now you give way to Brashear, a new arm, and heart of the order coming up for the Gatemen.
Certainly. It's 4, 5, 6, Dubovic, Elam, and Rogers. Starting with the right fielder from Miami, who is 1 for 3 today. First pitch from Brashear. Cut on and miss for strike 1. Cotuit kind of responding to Wareham's move. They put Koshi on the bump. The Gatemen did in that bottom of the 7th. A little bit of a submariner, a different arm angle. And Brashear somewhat similar to Koshi in that same type of way. Brashear comes set. The 0-1. Misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Dubovic, hot start. 2 fly balls sent, and they weren't very hard hit either.
1-1. Another big swing and a miss for Dylan Dubovic. Heading into his sophomore year at Miami, made 34 starts, appeared in 42 games for the Hurricanes this past season for a batting average of .312. Very much played his way onto the Cape and looking to make his presence known here in the summer of 2026. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Skied into shallow left field. That ball's going to drop. Dunks in there for Dubovic. And it's the first hit of the ball game for the Gatemen since the start of the 5th inning.
Couple of singles, bookend Dylan Dubovic's day. And that's huge because you mentioned it, just getting a new arm, a new face in there for Halsack. But wanted to touch on another point you just made. When you talk about, Brashear playing his way onto the Cape, some of these guys are playing to stay on the Cape. When you come into a season, these teams have somewhere between 50 to 60 guys that are ready to replace. And when you look at these coaches, they're here to win. So the players are trying to stay on the Cape and continue playing against this high-level competition.
Kyle Elam at the dish, lines one straight back to the pitcher. Brashear goes off of his glove, regains, throws to first, but the ruling on the field is safe. Waiting to hear it, the home plate umpire was ruling safe. Now they correct the decision. Runner out at first base. Going over to second on the play is Dubovic. The Gatemen with a runner in scoring position here with 1 down, and Drew Rogers coming to the plate.
Seemed like it could have been trouble right there. Could have been a chance for another double play. Wareham's already lined into 1 today. But instead, Gatemen stay out of trouble and advance a runner into scoring position, 180 feet from the tying run.
That ball was lined right back. Drew Rogers, the catcher, at the plate now. First offering to him is a strike at the top of the zone. Elam stepped into the box and was ready to go. First pitch swinging, hit it right back to Brashear. He caught it initially, then dropped it, threw it over to first for the putout. But Rogers, who today is 0 for 2 with a walk, trying to bring home Dubovic and tie up this game for the Gatemen here in the top of the 8th. 0-1 pitch, cut on and missed at the top of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes.
Dubovic has the speed. A base hit could absolutely score him. You would think in a game like this, Wareham will be ultra aggressive, trying to get that first run for them of the entire game, but as well as it's the tying run and down to its final 5 outs.
Rogers, 3 RBIs last season in 12 games with Wareham. Looking for number 1 in 2026. Takes on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brashear settles himself. Dubovic getting his lead off of second, kicking up some dust. Brashear ready. Takes a look over at second, fires. Cut on and missed, 4 strike 3 from Rogers. That's a big strikeout. The first of the game for Brashear, and there's 2 down here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, gets him to chase outside of the zone. Breaking ball that continued to work its way away from Drew Rogers into the left-handed batter's box, but the righty swinging backstop. Chased out of the zone, and now 2 gone.
The hard-hitting Lincoln Garcia at the plate had a single in the 4th, and the Gatemen could use exactly that here to tie up this game. First pitch to him is down in the dirt for ball 1. Garcia recently transferring to Texas, where he is hoping to make a big impact after being a Big 12 all-freshman selection with Texas Tech this past season in Lubbock. The 1-0, high and away, gets past O, and moving over to third will be Dubovic. O just didn't see it coming. It was a fastball that he simply didn't glove.
Well, we took a little bit of time away from it, Dan, but stop me if you've heard this before. Wareham has a runner on third base in its season opener against Cotuit.
I think I've heard that 4 different times already in this game, so hopefully I can tell you in just a second that they have a runner coming home to the plate.
Tie the game.
2-0 count. Here to Garcia. The pitch. Cut on and missed, and it'll make it 2-1. That one was center of the plate. Looked like Garcia liked it, just couldn't catch up to the speed.
You can't imagine that going to give Garcia another great pitch like that to hit.
You mentioned it. Brashear misses on the outer half. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 down, with the tying run standing just 90 feet away.
First and second base open. You've got the 8th hitting Tony Lira on deck.
3-1 offering. Down the middle, fouled off to the right side. And we'll do it again at 3-2.
Another one where you feel like Garcia's had his chances.
Couple of pitches in this at-bat that Garcia has definitely had his fair shot at. Umpire calls time. Both just getting set. He was tabbed a 2026 Baseball America top 25 freshman and was rated the 63rd prospect in the 2027 MLB draft by Baseball America. Trying to make an impact on the payoff pitch, but he's caught looking for strike 3. It was in the zone. Garcia didn't swing his bat. It's back-to-back strikeouts for the Gatemen to end off the top of the 8th. They strand a runner over at third. Cotuit still leading things 1-0 as we have 9 outs to go here from Lowell Park.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
1-0 game here at Lowell Park in the bottom of the 8th. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. 3-4-5 due up for the Kettleers here in the bottom of the 8th, and they'll be going against a new arm. Jake Schweitzer takes the bump. The Louisville, Kentucky product, who also attends school at Louisville, entering his junior year, pitched to a 6.88 ERA this past season, looking to keep things a one-run game for Wareham and give them one last shot in the top of the 9th.
He was spectacular as a freshman, Dan, a 2.34 ERA through 42 innings of work as a freshman. Took a step back, but now trying to regain some of that momentum here on the Cape, out of his comfort zone, a Louisville native, goes to college at Louisville, and now a chance to try and get back some of that magic he had in the ACC as a first-year guy.
He'll have to face his teammate here to start things off in the bottom of the 8th, and Take Davis, who was the ACC Player of the Year from Louisville, so a little Cardinal-on-Cardinal matchup here to start things in the bottom of the 8th, and Schweitzer deals a first pitch ball. The 1-0 catches the outside part of the plate, 4-strike-1. A little bit of an advantage here for Take Davis, that's for sure. He was a first-team All-American and batted .355, had 34 home runs this past season as well, which was an ACC and school record. So going against someone he knows very well, Chase is down in the dirt for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 8th.
Schweitzer not great against left-handed hitters. Allows a little over 2 walks and hits per innings pitched.
1-2. Chopped weakly in front of Rogers. He gloves it, throws on to first. Not in time. So that'll be a leadoff base runner here for the Kettleers in the bottom of the 8th, and Rogers was looking around a little bit confused. He thought he beat that out over at first base throwing-wise, but Davis beat it out with his legs.
And Davis, with his size, 6'4", 220 pounds, he's not the fastest guy, but that's not what makes him so good. But even on that situation where he drops it about 5 feet from home plate, it was just such a tough play for Rogers, into the shadows, having to throw outside. Tony Lira, even with the stretch, couldn't retire Davis, and leadoff guy on for Cotuit.
Goes down as a leadoff single. Hogan Denny at the dish now. The cleanup man takes a first pitch ball from Jake Schweitzer, and Denny so far in this game is 0 for 2. A line out over to short in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 4th, and then walked on his last trip to the dish in the 6th. Schweitzer fires, finds the zone, makes it 1-1. It's really important here, Adam, that the Gatemen keep this a one-run game, especially when you have the bottom of the order due up.
Yep.
8-9-1 in the 9th.
Certainly huge.
1-1. Tasered out over to the right side and through the gap between first and second. That's back-to-back singles to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th. For the Kettleers, they've got 2 on and no one out.
Yeah, not a great start for Schweitzer. Has to work around a little bit of traffic, facing these 3-4-5 hitters. But on the bright side, for Schweitzer, a guy that's controlled the zone very well early on, he faces the catcher O, who is 0 for 3.
There you go. Seo Juno at the dish. The big lefty who has lots of power. Hit 14 home runs this past season. Looking to do that once again here in this game and really just put things out of reach for the Gatemen. Schweitzer toes the slab, runners at first and second. Nobody out. Oh, looking like he's going to square to bunt. He had it there, pulled it back. The ball gets past Rogers, trickles to the backstop, and both runners move up 90 feet. So now some real trouble for Jake Schweitzer. Runners at second and third with no one out.
Yeah, I think Cotuit was content with advancing its runners and just surrendering the out. Isn't even a guy that at 5'10", 240 pounds, he's not one to beat out a throw. So they were content, but luckily for the Kettleers, both of their base runners get 90 feet without taking the out.
Now a chance to swing away. The infield comes in for the Gatemen. Schweitzer fires. He misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Pivotal at bat, pivotal point in the game for the Gatemen. Trying to stay close. Schweitzer fires. The 2-0 is clubbed to the left side and out of play. The sun's starting to dip just below the tree line here at Lowell Park, and what has been a beautiful afternoon here in Cotuit for opening day. Temperatures peaked up at 87 at first pitch, now dwindling down into the high 70s. But the sun is setting on the Gatesmen's chances of winning this game. Fouls another one off. So now Schweitzer's worked his way back into this count from 2-0 down to 2-2.
Still such a big at-bat. First base open. You don't want to give him anything to hit and bring in 2 runs and make it 3-0, but you don't want to pitch to the Big South Player of the Year either.
2-2. Cut on, chopped foul just behind the plate. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's the thing. Has unlimited power. He can drive the ball, but he can also hit for average. 350 on the year. It's not like he just hits the home run and that's that. So trying to do some more of that here in this count. Schweitzer set at the belt, fires, and he gets swinging for strike 3. A massive punch out for Jake Schweitzer. And there's 1 down here with runners still at second and third.
That's huge. That is huge because now with 1 out, still keep the infield in, but all you have to do is retire Jesse DiMaggio and you can play at normal depth. You get through those 3, 4, 5 hitters, which are so dangerous for this Kettleers lineup.
The infield still staying in. It is a pinch hitter at the dish for the Kettleers. It's number 17, Ryan Taransky at the dish. Plays a little bit of everything. Some infield, outfield, comes in as a pinch hitter here for the lefty-righty matchup. Schweitzer fires, misses down low for ball 1.
Such an interesting point of a Cape season. You're still trying, all these managers are trying to mix and match and see what they have. Is this a pinch-hitting viable option? Is this a guy we want as our everyday starter? So right now, Taransky getting the nod in a very crucial point.
A huge one. Schweitzer fires, misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Started in 43 games this past season. Taransky did for the Bearcats with a .313 batting average over at Cincinnati. 34 RBIs. That's the number you want to circle and a reason he just got thrown into this game. The 2-0 misses down low. A nice block by Rogers. Now 3-0, and it begs the question on if it's even worth it to pitch to Taransky here or just load the bases and play some double play defense.
Got Landon Beaver, who's 1 for 3 today. Totaled the 1 hit against the starter Garrett Lambert.
It makes sense why Taransky's in the spot. Jesse DiMaggio started the game as the DH in this position, and he's someone who hits from the right side of the plate, and Taransky a lefty. See if he gets anything to hit here on a 3-0. He does not. That pitch is high and out of the zone. It's a 4-pitch walk given to Taransky. And the bases are loaded for the Kettleers and for the right fielder, Landon Beaver.
Second team American Conference selection, Landon Beaver. But since the departure of the starter Garrett Lambert, 0 for 1.
Did play in 10 games with Cotuit last year, had a .400 batting average, and looking to do that same thing right here in this position. The first pitch with the bases loaded is grounded over to the right side, and it goes through the legs of Lira. That's an error on the first baseman. In to score is Davis. Denny touches the plate. Going over to third is Taransky. And that is a costly E3. Scores 2 runs. It's 3-0 Kettleers.
That's massive, Dan, because right there on a ground ball that was maybe not tailor-made for a double play, but certainly gave Wareham the opportunity. It was one of those where it wasn't hit super hard, but it also wasn't softly hit where it was going to take a while to arrive at first base. So Lyra, similar to Chris Ramirez's earlier opportunity in this game, looked ahead for the double play before he turned 2.
First pitch here to Murphy is chopped to the left side. Throw over to first is over the head of Lyra. Another error for the Gatemen. Already in to score is Taransky. Here comes Beaver. He's going to be in standing. Going over to third is Murphy. Just a disastrous defensive inning here for Wareham. That is now 4 runs that have come home on just 2 errors, and 4 errors overall on the game now for the Gatemen. Makes it 5-0 Kettleers.
Yeah, well, Schweitzer wants to get out of this inning to not run his pitch count up, but at least he doesn't have to worry about his earned run average because a couple of errors. And I will say the shadows have to be playing a factor for these guys right now. Currently with, like you mentioned, Dan, the sun setting beneath the tree line. It's about the right side of the infield is still in the sun, and the entire left side is in the shade. So Lyra's trying to track that ball through the shade, through the sun.
Sturgis at the plate. Grounds one over to Ramirez. He throws home, and now they have got Murphy stuck in a pickle. They tag him over on the third base line. So now 2 down. Getting over to first on the fielder's choice is Isaac Sturgis, who put the ball in play originally. 2 down with the runner at first in a 5-0 game.
A nice play there from Chris Ramirez. Heads up. The easy play when you make a couple of errors in the field defensively is to just throw to first and not worry about the bang-bang play at the plate, but felt like he had a good beat on it, charged the ground ball, goes home, keeps it at a 5-run game for the Gatemen.
Infield was in on that play, so nice job by Ramirez to stop some of the defensive blunders after back-to-back errors. Top of the order, Hunter Warren at the plate takes a first pitch ball from Jake Schweitzer. So at the end of the day, once this game ends, it's really the Gatemen who played themselves out of this one. They were in it for a large part of the game. A couple of errors, costly ones here in the 8th, have let 4 runs come across, and barring a comeback, seems like that might be the first loss of the season. This ball is chopped right back to Schweitzer. It goes off of his glove over to the left side of the infield. He can't make a play over at first. Runners at first and second. Just some unfortunate bounces in this inning for the Gatemen.
Yeah, that would have been a tough play regardless, but as Schweitzer turned off the mound, he just swung his glove up, knocked it down, but it was honestly a chance for one of the middle infielders to take it and throw to first. But listen, not a bad outing from Schweitzer. A lot of soft contact. Didn't really get helped out by his defense, but also, when you're facing this Cotuit lineup that's stacked from top to bottom, you have 8 of the 9 hitters that hit over a 300 batting average in their college seasons this spring. You got to make better pitches, and you have to execute them. And today, Schweitzer didn't have his best stuff.
Mound visit out there right now for the Gatemen. Schweitzer's going to stay out there. Jace Lee heading into the dish. He came into this game as a defensive replacement for the Kettleers in the top half of the 8th, and now will get his first crack at the dish. Just spent his sophomore year at Notre Dame. He played in all 53 games, good for a .327 batting average. The righty steps into the box. Schweitzer comes set with runners at first and second, and 2 down here in a 5-0 game. First pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Schweitzer just looking to get out of this inning and give the Gatemen a shot in the top of the 9th and stop some of the bleeding. 2 runners on as the 1-0 pitch finds the zone. It's 1-1. Around the league, the other game going on, Harwich and YD. That started at 4:30. YD leading Harwich 8-2 on their way to their first win of the season. And all the 6 o'clock games just getting underway in the first few innings. 1-1. Is called a strike as Lee checked his swing. First base umpire ruled it that he did break the plate. So now Schweitzer just one pitch away from getting out of this disaster inning for the Gatemen. The 1-2 pitch. Down the middle for strike 3. Got him looking. So that ends the inning. 9 batters come to the plate for the Kettleers here in the 8th. 4 runs score. It's 5-0 Cotuit heading to the top of the 9th with the Gatemen having just 3 outs left to mount a comeback.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Last chance for the Gatemen to make something happen here in the top of the 9th. Wareham trailing Cotuit 5-0. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. 4 runs scored for Cotuit in that bottom of the 8th. 3 of them earned, 1 not, but 2 errors in the inning that led to those runs coming across. Here in the top of the 9th, it'll be 8-9-1 coming to the dish with Tony Lira starting things off. The first baseman cuts and misses. Tyler Brasher still out there on the mound, and a defensive replacement for the Kettleers, Esteban Garcia, coming in over at second base. Brasher comes set, fires, finds the zone, no balls, 2 strikes.
And obviously Wareham still well within its capabilities of making a comeback here, but when you look at that bottom of the 8th, just really takes the wind out of the sails, giving up 4 runs. You're in a 1-0 game. Runs are at such a premium. Then tack on 4.
Brasher misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the thing is, when this game ends, and if Wareham puts up a 0, they were hitting in this game. They had plenty of chances throughout the first 5 innings. 8 runners left on base in that time, and 4 of them made it all the way to third. They were close. The 1-2 misses upstairs for ball 2.
Yeah, the Gatemen have 6 hits. Kettleers with 6 hits today, but the difference, Wareham with 4 errors defensively. Cotuit with just 1. It was a really great job by the starter, Jackson Yarberry, to work around a lot of traffic. Went 4 innings in his start. No runs.
Brasher fires the 2-2. It's cut on, fouled, into the chest of O. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coming up here for the Gatemen on the schedule, they will host Hyannis tomorrow. That'll be a 6 p.m. start. We'll have all the coverage for you on Cape League TV. Then Chatham comes to town on Monday. Last time that the Gatemen won the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship was against the Anglers back in 2018. And then a trip to Brewster on Tuesday at 5 p.m. before an off day on Wednesday. The 2-2. Skied out into foul ground. And Lowell Park continues to be a point of struggle for the Gatemen. Were swept here last year. That ended the Gatemen season. And then the previous year prior were knocked out in a 1-game playoff against Cotuit. Have not had very much success against the Kettleers as of late. Seems like it might have to wait another day as well. Lira staying alive in this count, fouls off another pitch from Brasher. Still 2-2. Here's the pitch. Runs in and clips Lyra. First hit by pitch of the ball game. Lyra will jog down to first. Runner on with no one out here in the top of the ninth.
Well, that's how a rally gets started. Leadoff man on. Still plenty of work to do if you're Wareham, but good start.
Pinch hitter here for the Gatemen. Braden Kersey coming to the dish, who does a little bit of pitching and a little bit of hitting at a 4.5 ERA in 2026. This past season with Mercer, just transferred to Tennessee recently, but also hit .325 with 21 home runs. He was the everyday DH at Mercer while also pitching. First AB out here of the summer season. First pitch is cut on and missed at the bottom of the zone for strike one.
Ryan Smythe electing to go with Kersey in place of the center fielder Hamilton. So his day is done. Played a good center field. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, though.
0-1. Hit into foul territory on the left side. No balls and 2 strikes here to Braden Kersey. The 6'1", 205 lefty at the dish, but pitches with his right hand. The 0-2. Strike 3 at the top of the zone. Got Kersey looking. Just stood there frozen. And there's one down here in the top of the ninth. That is 12 strikeouts on the afternoon combined for this Kettleers staff.
Great day. And for Wareham, certainly gone down looking probably a few too many times than Ryan Smythe would like, especially in critical positions with runners in scoring position.
There's 4 strikeouts looking in this game. Top of the order, Chris Ramirez at the plate. Grounded out over to short his last time up. Takes a first pitch ball on the outside corner from Brashear.
And obviously it's just game 1 of 40, but when you watched the scrimmage the other day in the 3-team matchup between Bourne, Brewster, and Wareham, it felt like the Gatemen hitters were much more aggressive. They were early on, but since then have eased off a bit.
Brashear fires, clips the outside part of the plate. Count goes to 1-1. Ramirez will have to leave Wareham at some point for Team USA. That'll certainly be a big loss when it happens, but the Gatemen trying to enjoy the time they have with the back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year from Cal Baptist, who's currently in the portal. Brashear misses down low for ball 2. 2-1, 1 out, top of the ninth. Lyra standing on first after he was hit. Wareham trailing 5-0. Brashear kicks and fires. Off speed, misses at the top of the zone, and the count goes to 3-1. Ramirez with 2 walks here this afternoon. Very disciplined at the plate. The other 2 at-bats, ground outs over to short. So an 0 for 2 line officially for the shortstop here this afternoon. 3-1 offering. Fouled back over to the right side. The count goes full here in the top of the ninth. Wareham looking like it's going to have to wait till at least tomorrow for its first win of the season. Home opener against Hyannis at 6 o'clock. Should be a great atmosphere at Spillane Field. The payoff. Catches the bottom of the zone. Strike 3. 2 down. That's back-to-back backwards Ks for the Gatemen.
Right after we talked about it, Dan, guys not being as aggressive as what they can be in certain positions. And then another strikeout looking for Wareham.
Another pinch hitter here for the Gatemen with 2 down in the top of the ninth and a runner at first. It'll be Foster Apple coming to the plate. The righty steps in. Coming in place of Jason Wax, the left fielder, who went 0 for 4. First pitch finds the outer half for strike one. The 0-1. Runs inside and clips the home plate umpire, Robert Melms. It went off of his mask. Seems like it caught a little bit of apple before it reached Melms, so he'll head down to first. That's 2 hit by pitches in this inning for Brashear.
Yeah, at least on the bright side, Robert Melms, our home plate umpire, smiled, ripped the mask off, gave a thumbs up to the crowd and those within the field of play. He's okay. Ready to close things out here from Lowell Park on opening day.
3-hole hitter, Caden McDonald at the dish. 2 for 3 in this game with a walk. First pitch right down the middle for strike one. The Stetson product, who's in the portal. Foster Apple stands over at first. Tony Lira at second with 2 down here in the top of the ninth. Brashear comes set, stares off into the distance, now locks back into home plate, fires down in the dirt for ball one. I'll tell you one thing, Adam, from this game, a positive is no doubt Caden McDonald, and he's solidified himself in the top of the order.
And you know, a guy that was a mainstay last year for Wareham, and when you bring returners back, period, excites you, but a guy that gave serious production at the top of the order consistently, certainly a big addition.
1-1 misses up high. 2 balls, 1 strike to Caden McDonald. It'll be fun to see him pitch. I know we're looking forward to that as well. Just doing some hitting today as the DH, but certainly will be interesting to see him out there on the bump.
See how much we see him in the field as well, getting the DH nod today.
2-1 runs inside and a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Dylan Dubovic waits on deck.
Plays a lot of first base with Florida as well. McDonald, that is.
2 runners on, 2 down. Top of the ninth, a 3-1 count to the Gator McDonald. Brashear fires, runner on the go over to third. It's a cut and a miss from McDonald, but on the play, Lira steals third base, so runners at the corners for Wareham in a full count with 2 down. Down to their final strike of the ball game. Apple will be on the move here in a full count with 2 down. Brashear looking to close out the game. The payoff pitch. Popped up behind the plate. We'll do it again at 3-2. It's been good at-bats all around from Caden McDonald. It makes sense why he had such amazing numbers with Florida this past season and battling even here in a 5-0 game with 2 down in the top of the ninth. Runners at the corners. Brashear gets the sign and fires. Strike 3, got him swinging at the top of the zone. Cotuit grabs opening day, 5-0 over the Wareham Gatemen.